Excuse me. So welcome everyone to this new moon in Leo mindful moment. The 7th of August. The new moon was actually on the 4th of August, which was my birthday, and a very lovely day to have a birthday, even energetically moon-wise, but it was a lovely birthday. So thank you for some of the messages and calls, and yeah, it's lovely to see and reconnect with the Mindful Moment group. Those who are joining in person, lovely to see your names and faces, and those who are joining online. And I've just put on my rose, which is my oil of divine love, and my Melissa, which is the oil of light. So we've got light streaming in the window here. And so I'm basing this Mindful Moment a lot on Michelle McClellan's latest YouTube clip on the new moon in Leo and the Lion Gate portal, because what she said was just so beautiful and so relevant and tracks along what we've been talking about and practicing in our mindful moments the last few weeks, or actually months and years. So the new moon in Leo, always new moons, we know, are a time for sort of going to ground, planting seeds. If it's a time in our menstrual cycle, it's a time for calming down. It's our menstrual time. It's sort of our Epsom salts time, early to bed, do the things that nourish us. Biodynamic farmers will plant on the new moon. They plant their seeds, and energetically and spiritually and emotionally, it's a time for us to plant seeds and to set intentions. And when the new moon is in Leo, it's very fiery. There's lots of energy, passion, creativity, and wanting to shine, a bit like the sun shines. The sun is obviously a beautiful example of this fiery energy. And then the very well-known Lions Gate portal, it's in alignment. It happens every year, and it's when the Earth, the Sun, Orion, and Sirius, which is the spiritual sun, all go into alignment. And it happens between the 26th of July and the 12th of August, but its peak is on the 8th of August, the 8th of the 8th, which is named the Lions Gate portal. And many people around the world see this as a very important portal or opening, and an activation particularly of our heart chakra and of our crown chakra. So we have more spiritual information and wisdom coming from above, and it activates and reinforces and empowers us in this new moon in Leo. So it's a very positive, a very beneficial time. It's a sort of a time for rebirth of our spiritual connection. And then Michelle was talking about the Leo energy being warm and beneficial, and a rebirth, warm and beneficial and abundant. It's like it's a useful fire energy, like a fire in a grate can warm and cook and provide comfort to others. There are other fire energies that are more scattered and less controlled. This is a very controlled energy. And Leo in astrology rules the heart. So it's all about living from a place of love. What is our heart's longing? What ignites us? What connects us? And aligning with that unique life spark, our heart light. Like, what is our own heart telling us? And we're going to explore that in our meditation today. What do we need to do more of? What do we need to do less of? And using our hearts as a compass and not our heads and our minds so much. She also talked briefly about Mercury retrograde, and I'm not going to repeat everything because I really encourage you to watch her latest video. They're all about 20 minutes, and they're just such comforting and inspiring and insightful videos. But we are going into Mercury retrograde, which can be a glitchy time, especially of technology. And it's a time to sort of look at the patterns of our minds. So it's noticing in the next couple of weeks when we're going into these very familiar patterns. For me, it's like there's not enough time, and the busyness of the energy I keep in my body. And then realigning to the heart. But she also suggested, and this is what I want to bring up, that we just back up data on our phones and check and recheck any papers that we're signing, be clear in any communications, because there can be misunderstandings. This sort of time is well known for glitches in technology and understanding and things. Yeah, so she just says that this Lionsgate portal is and this new moon are both such ignition points to live life more from a heart place and choosing to enjoy our lives despite choices or mistakes we've made. Often we hold ourselves to ransom by choices and mistakes, and so really berate ourselves for this. And she's saying we must choose to live our lives and enjoy our lives despite that, and to allow ourselves to be creative beings and to shine our light in our own unique ways. And that's the seeding point. What lights us up? What opens our hearts? And to plant that at this new moon with the intention of shining our own lights in our own authentic way, and then starting to grow and flourish from here. And allowing ourselves to play and to feel more expansive and to feel free. Can we expand more? Can we flow more? So often we have the responsibilities that bear down on us and make us contract and not to feel expansive and playful and have fun and together. These more sensible, more productive thoughts, often our masculine energy thoughts, hold us hostage and keep us small, rather than our feminine energy of connection, of abundance, of flow. So yeah, as I said, I encourage you to listen to her talk, and we're going to drop into a meditation that activates our heart chakra. And when I was looking for poems, this one just kept coming up in my mind, and it's about the brain and the heart, but also about the lungs, which is our access to this. And I'm encouraging us more to live much more from our hearts, because I feel like our brains are so dominant. We're very dominant and very little from our hearts. But I just thought I'd share this very familiar, I'm sure you'll all know this poem, which was very prominent during COVID times, actually, by John Rondel. So I just invite you in this moment just to settle. You might want to close your eyes or just drop your gaze or just soften and allow these words to land as you listen today. My brain and heart divorced a decade ago over who was to blame about how big of a mess I have become. Eventually, they couldn't be in the same room with each other. Now my head and heart share custody of me, stay with my brain during the week, and my heart gets me on weekends. They never speak to one another, and their notes they send to one another always says the same thing. Instead, they give me the same note to pass to each other every week. This is all your fault. On Sundays, my heart complains about how my head has let me down in the past. And on Wednesday, my head lists all the times my heart has screwed things up for me in the future. In the future, they blame each other for the state of my life. There's been a lot of yelling and crying. So lately, I've been spending a lot of time with my gut, who serves as my unofficial therapist. Most nights, I sneak out of the window in my ribcage and slide down my spine and collapse on my gut's plush leather chair that's always open for me. And just sit, 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 sit until the sun comes up. Last evening, my gut asked me if I was having a hard time being caught between my heart and my head. I nodded and said I don't know if I could live with either of them anymore. My heart is always sad about something that happened yesterday, while my head is always worried about something that may happen tomorrow. I lamented. My gut squeezed my hand. I just can't live with my mistakes of the past or my anxiety for the future, I sighed. My gut smiled and said, in that case, you should stay with your lungs for a while. I was confused. The look on my face gave it away. If you're exhausted about your heart's obsession with the fixed past or your mind's focus on the uncertain future, your lungs are the perfect place for you. There's no yesterday in your lungs. There's no tomorrow there either. There is only now. There is only inhale. There is only exhale. There is only this moment. There is only breath. And in that breath, you can rest while your heart and head work their relationship out. This morning, while my brain was busy reading tea leaves, and while my heart was staring at old photographs, I packed a little bag and walked out of the door and walked to the door of my lungs. Before I could even knock, she opened the door with a smile, and as a gust of air embraced me, she said, "What took you so long?" And so with the next few breaths, I invite us to go and knock on the door of our lungs. To sneak out the window in our rib cage and slide down our spines, and to collapse into our guts plush leather chair. And as we settle into this plush leather chair, so we may notice the grounding of our feet on the earth beneath us. Much like a taproot goes down and grounds and receives nourishment at the same time from the earth. Feeling into the anchoring and support that comes from our feet on the earth. And then moving up towards our seat in the chair, noticing the support our seat or our cushion gives us. The anchoring, the earthing, the stability that allows our spine to unfurl and our shoulders, our neck, our heads to reach up to the sky above us. So that we sit here with intention, with full presence, but also with a sense of letting go and allowing. Bringing our full selves into presence. And with each breath in, sliding down into our lungs, surrounded by both their softness and the strength of the life-giving energy that they nourish us with every breath. And just sitting here for the next while, inviting a softening, inviting a gratitude for every breath, noticing how every breath fills us with life force energy. And really tuning our awareness and focus to this feeling of gratitude in our heart space. Noticing if it has a color, texture, shimmer, a weight to it, and just settling into this. And allowing it to expand around us as we sit in our lung space, our heart space. Allowing it to seep out into our arteries, blood vessels, seep around our bodies. So that our whole bodies feel filled with gratitude and light just for this moment of being, this moment of breath. Not needing anything else to be different, to be filled with a sense of profound gratitude. And then in this moment, dropping into our heart and just asking ourselves the question, what is our heart's longing? It doesn't have to be words, it can be feelings, images. It doesn't have to be mapped out by your brain. This is us sitting in our hearts. What ignites us? What connects us? What expands us? And tapping into this feeling of ignited energy, connection, expansion that sits in us already in our bodies right now without anything changing externally. Knowing that this is always here for us to return to slide back into this chair. What is our heart telling us? What do we need more of? What do we need less of? Just using this moment to tap into the compass of our heart space. How do I want to be today? How do I want to radiate my light into the world today? Just planting this seed, this intention. And perhaps it's not just today or this month. Perhaps it's an intention that we plant every day, but especially today and especially at this Lionsgate portal, of how do I want to be? How do I want to radiate my light? And then slowly and gently, and when you're ready, just letting go of the questions like we might let go of a balloon, just settling with the sensations. Noticing the light that we already radiate, the gratitude that's already there, connection that already holds us. Perhaps you want to anchor your hands on your heart space, or rest your hands on your heart space, just to anchor in these intentions. Knowing that we can return to this whenever we open the door of our lungs, whenever we rest our hands on our hearts, whenever we take a moment to pause, to breathe, and to be. And slowly, and when you're ready, perhaps bringing some movement to your fingers and toes, your hands, your feet, shoulders, hips, knees. When you're ready, opening your eyes, taking in the colors and the light around you. And Michelle McClellan read from, she had pulled a card from this Divine Feminine card deck that I also have. And her card was White Buffalo Calf Woman, which is she's the prophetess of the sacred way. And the words were, my heart is a compass. The path of love is true abundance, which was so relevant for what she is speaking about and what we find today. And she said, here it reads, when your soul selects a card, White Buffalo Calf Woman is a sacred reminder we don't have to struggle to receive all that we've desired. When we join our heart's longing with action, we find that there's a sacred way to move through the world. When we join our heart's longing with action, we find there's a sacred way to move through the world. The sacred way is a path of steady, quiet alignment between the heart's intention and our every step. And when I sort of picked up the cards, one fell out for me, which was Lilith, the first woman. I'm the voice of my body and soul. I choose the life I desire to live. I haven't read what else it says, but I just thought I'd share those two with you. So thank you for joining today. If you enjoyed this, please, or found it beneficial, share it with your daughters, your mothers, your friends. If you subscribe, you obviously will get these notifications, which those live are already getting. But it would be lovely to have you subscribe and to like the video or to comment, because it just makes YouTube share it more widely. Thank you, Hilda. Thank you for your comments. I appreciate that. Yeah, and I just send you all love and blessings as we go through the day. Please feel free to unmute to say anything or to put any comments in the chat. And yeah, next week we'll be back on Wednesday. I'm doing a talk at a garden club on Tuesday, so I think probably I'll bring some of that content into our mindful moment the next day. Thanks, Karine. Thanks, Sel. Just going to unpin myself so I can see more of you. Thanks for joining, everyone. Oh, thanks, Heather. Thank you, Sue. Thanks, Mandy, and love and healing to you. Oh. Thank you, everyone. Lovely to see your faces and the hearts and everything. Ellen, are you wanting to say anything? I see you've unmuted.
Yeah, it's beautiful. But that's not a chat after you've a personal call after you've switched off the recording.
That's fine. I'll switch off the recording. Sending you all love and see you next week. I can actually see how to stop recording. Hold on. Oh, am I even recording? I'm going to end it. I'll chat to you separately and